Raiders. I'll be back with you again.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
You're talking about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Carr, room to run past midfield. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt, and finally brought down at the 43. The end result, 21 yards. They forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 16 yards, a first down. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. On first and 10, Bridgewater. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Cleveland Farrell. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. Hey, watch number 5.
And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. Hey, go. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down. 24. Yeah. 12 up. Jack Rabbit. Jack Rabbit. 24 is the mark. It's a party now. 24.
On 2nd down now, it's Logan. The tackle by Tremaine Johnson.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Got you.
Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Right there.
On 4th down, they do snap it to Bridgewater. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. So just shy of midfield. They tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation,
First half,
I don't know that there's any risk, whistle reward for your risk here. I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
they go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes.
And the pressure gets to him again. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller. In there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Here's Carr to throw. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the carry, it's Logan.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force the 3rd down.
Here's Bridgewater. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after one. Second and 5 now. Bridgewater. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. They'll run on first down. Logan. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Check. I can't do this.
Second and 5 now. Bridgewater to Gabriel, middle of the field. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Sutton reeling it in on the left side.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On first down, it's Logan. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5 now. Bridgewater. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six, we'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Don't be scared. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
To throw again on second down. Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, but now it'll be third down. The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. That's it. 24 is the mark. 24 is the mic. 24 is the mic.
A first throw for the backup Jackson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know it feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points. Go by the...
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there. And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Man open left side is Brown. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And caught by Thomas. Touchdown, Raiders. Demaryius Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So we now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
4 down. Check. 24.
Bridgewater on first down. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They run with Logan. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to...
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Bridgewater, and he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
And now Derek Carr, he is the focus of our... So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here we go.
That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Carr on target to AB. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down. Carr now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's Jacobs. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Looking for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. It's so nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
24 is the best.
From the 27, Jackson. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Bridgewater. He'll let this go. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. His defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace. That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They'll run on first down. Logan. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
24 is the mark. Let's go, team. Big series right now.
They run again with Logan. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Bridgewater is going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Back now in the East Bay. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A pass there complete to Sutton. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Brandon Marshall. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Running is Jacobs, and down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Logan, and they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. on second down. It's Miller, and he'll be taken down at the 18. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Tremaine Johnson. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. That's a story. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And I think the game balls need to be distributed.